Just a few seconds more.
Okay.
Hey, I think we're on. Hello, everyone. This is Muneeza, and I have a very special guest for you today, somebody who has been on our program. She's been on our cleanse program for the first time, right, Echota? Is that how you say your name? Echota?
Echota.
Echota?
Yeah.
Echota. Where are you from? So tell us where you're from.
Currently I live in Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
And we just moved here a month ago. So that's why I'm like, I don't know where I'm from, because we traveled in an RV before that. And we lived in Oregon. We lived in BC. We lived in Washington, originally from St. Louis, Missouri.
That's amazing. So thanks for sharing that. And so tell us a little bit about how your journey began. Why have you ended up doing this cleanse, and what brought you here?
Okay. Should I start back from, when I was really sick, or okay. So what brought me to medical medium is that when I don't know where to start. So in 2012, I'll just start there. My health was a little bit not great before that, but I was still functional. And in 2012, early 2012, I got a concussion after a big mold exposure, and my immune system went haywire, and my health just tanked. I got sicker and sicker, and to the point where I couldn't leave my house. I went to doctor after doctor, both alternative and Western, and I got all this whole huge collection of diagnoses. And but nobody. Every time I would get a diagnosis, I would say, "Great. So what's the cause of that? What can we do about it?" And they were like, "I don't know. Here's some pills." And that didn't work for me, because my body's really sensitive. I reacted to all the medications, and I wanted to know what was causing it so I could heal that. Like, I know inherently, I've always known there's a way to heal somehow, or I think there is, but I couldn't find it, not in the doctors and not in the naturopaths, I couldn't find any answers. And so that lasted about 5 years, and I just got sicker and sicker and sicker. And I call it sofa bound, because I got out of bed because I have a child that I have to take care of. And, but I couldn't leave my house. I couldn't do anything by myself. My husband became my caregiver. He was working 40 hours a week. He was taking care of us. He was, doing all the grocery shopping and all the cleaning and all the cooking, in addition to his own actual job outside the house, and taking care of our son. And it was I couldn't do anything. Like, a shower would take me out for a couple days. It was like really hard for me to even shower or anything at all. I had no energy. I had all the symptoms. I had chronic fatigue, and all these different diagnoses: mast cell activation syndrome, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, POTS, dysautonomia, sleep apnea, fibromyalgia, hypothyroid, migraines. Just name something, I probably had it. I had a diagnosis for it anyway. So
yeah.
Somehow in my brain fog, and I had tried, the GAPS diet, and I tried specific carbohydrate diet, and I tried paleo, and then it went to autoimmune paleo because I kept getting sicker. And then it was like low FODMAPs autoimmune paleo, and then it was going to be low salicylate, low FODMAPs autoimmune paleo. But that's when I kind of discovered on my Kindle that at some point in my brain fog, I had pre-ordered Anthony's book. I don't know how I found it, and I don't know how I got exposed to it, but I had heard of it, and my friend and I had even both said, like, "Oh, we want to read this when it comes out." And I guess that's when I pre-ordered it. But one day I found it on my Kindle, and I was like, "I will read this today." And it just struck a chord. Everything in it. I felt like when I was reading it, that he had written that book to me. And it was like he was saying, "Echota, you can heal, Echota, this is not your fault. And I cannot tell you, as a person with chronic illness, how incredibly important it is to hear those words in a way and just be validated in that way. Like it was so, I just felt a shift when I read that book. I felt a shift when I read Anthony's first book. And it just felt like, yes, I have to figure out how to do this. And I had no idea how I was going to do it, because my poor overworked husband was basically already doing 5 jobs, the jobs of 5 people. And I couldn't possibly ask him to now learn a whole new way of preparing food. And I thought, I have to figure this out. And I had gotten to the point where I was able to make a smoothie for myself. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to try to, see if I can make this celery juice. And I'm just going to do that. Like, that's all probably I'm going to be able to do, or if I can do it at all. And I'm just going to try. And that first day when I started the cleanse, I made the celery juice, and I immediately, I know most people maybe don't have this experience, but for me, I immediately felt it. Like it was like my cells woke up and they were like, oh, hey, yes, we're awake now. And I felt like I had this sort of buzzy, not like caffeinated, but like happy, awake energy in my cells all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I was stunned. I was like, oh my gosh, I sort of feel like I can, kind of do some stuff. And and so I was even still able to make my smoothie after that. And I just kept sort of having that energy that day. And I then was able to make a salad for myself for lunch. And mind you, I hadn't prepared food in years. I couldn't do it. I couldn't, other than being able to make my smoothie, that was like the one thing I could do every day. That was it. And it took everything. It was like all I had. And I only had energy in this tiny little window in the morning. And that was it. So, and then I was able to somehow I just still had some energy, and I was able to make my lunch, and then even my salad for dinner I had. And suddenly I was doing the cleanse, like sort of a modified version of it, because my husband was still cooking our dinners, making, at that time, still meat. And, but I was suddenly there, and I haven't looked back because it's never stopped. Like I never stopped being able to function each day and getting up and having energy, and then, symptoms improving and things getting better. And, it's been a miracle. Day 3 of that, I had to start blogging because I was like, no, I'm not going to remember what my symptoms were because they're going away. And I was like, I've got a diet. I have to document this.
Yeah.
The word. I have to document this. I have to, so that I'll be able to look back. And because I was just amazed at how it was just such a big shift so fast for me. I know that's kind of an exception, but it was amazing. It was miraculous. Like I just was like, I can't believe this. And, and so I've been making my food ever since, and now, can make food for my family and function in the world again. It's just, I could probably talk for an hour about all the symptoms and everything that's happened.
Yeah.
So, does that answer the question?
Well, kind of.
Oh, how did I come to this cleanse?
Well, no, let's get to that in a minute. But I want people to hear what you said, because you said you did it from just the books, right?
I did, yeah.
You did
at first,
first, and you just sort of figured, you just started with celery juice, and that it is so, for a lot of people, I think it can feel like unless you get help, you're not going to get better, or there are simple things that you can do. And for some people, sure, they need the additional help and they are not able to just do it on their own. But your journey began with just changing your diet. Like you didn't do supplements.
Not at first, no.
Not at first. You were just doing the diet piece, and the diet piece helped immensely. So, your story's sort of a miracle, and
it's a huge miracle.
It's a huge miracle. And, we were like going through, so I also want to let people know that you're not actually a client of mine, right? We haven't had any private sessions.
Not yet.
Not yet. And you came to the cleanse, and that's how I know you. And you've been an active participant in the cleanse. And so now, if you don't mind, share with people what brought you to the cleanse and whether the support that was in the cleanse has been helpful.
Yes, that is what brought me to the cleanse, is that support. So eventually, after about 4 or 5 months on, following the medical medium protocols and everything, I did want to start supplements, but I didn't know where to start. And so I did consult with one of the practitioners, and she gave me a direction, dosages and supplements, and this is where you should go. Because I had so many, I was like, I felt like I had everything in the book. I'm like, I have all these viruses. I have everything. I don't know where to start. Like, what's going to be, what do they say? Like minimal action for maximum impact.
Yes.
And I wanted that, but I just didn't know. It was overwhelming to me trying to figure out like where do I, so and then I wasn't sure. Anyway, so I finally did consult with a practitioner, and it was so helpful because she gave me a direction, and she said, okay, this is what you need to focus on. And, these are the dosages, which of course were, different maybe than the bottle said. And that was super helpful. So, and it gave me great peace of mind to know, to have that direction. Somebody's been here, she knows the drill, and, and she gets it. So
yeah.
So that was helpful. And so I've been, doing all those supplements and stuff and cruising along for about I guess about a year, because she was about 4 or 5 months after I started. And when I saw that you were doing this cleanse, and I felt like, I need that extra. So I've healed a lot, but there's more that I want to do. I feel like my liver needs more support. I was having trouble going low fat. I shouldn't say that. I was low fat. I was having trouble going as low fat as I wanted to be, to really bring about that healing from my liver. And I couldn't make myself not eat the lentil chips or whatever. I don't know, until I registered for the cleanse. And the reason I did it is just because I was like, I need that extra support. I need that. I know how impactful it can be to do something in a group and to have, guidance. I thrive with guidance a lot of times. Once I have it, I can sort of cruise on my own, but I need that initial, like, okay, here's, do this, this, and this. And for some reason that locks my brain into a pattern and I can do it. Whereas if I just sort of try to set myself up for it, I'm not accountable to anyone. And it's real easy to go down a slippery slope and not necessarily follow through, like with lentil chips.
It's true.
I'm like, I need to stop eating these. And then I just would have more, like I'd have them the next day. And I'm like, no, why do I keep, but it was crazy. The second I put myself in the cleanse, I didn't pick up another lentil chip. I don't know why. It's like your brain just kind of goes, okay, now I'm invested.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You're invested, you're in a group, you're committed, you paid money for it, you're showing up with your
time,
you're showing up in your body, you're showing up.
Yeah, it's like you have that commitment.
A deeper way. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to do that. So I want people to hear, I know, a cleanse is useful in its own way. A private consult is useful in its own way. Share with us the difference that you felt between the two, and that even if you hadn't had a consult, would this still be helpful? Because this is what I want people to get, is that even if you haven't had a consult, what did you get from this that you didn't get from a consult, for example?
Community, which, we have buddies and we're talking to each other and answering each other and supporting each other. And also, all of the materials, everything, like here's all the recipes that have been delicious. I'm slower to impart recipes, and I've kind of been doing my own modified, but still like low fat. It's in the same guidelines. And I love having the recipes. They've been so helpful, because this whole time I've been like, I need to make a meal plan. And I just didn't make a meal plan. but you made one for us. Here it is. And so it makes it easier. I can go, okay, dinner this day, and here's the recipe, and it's all laid out in one place. And just all the materials, I can't, like, blanking right now, but just everything that it's just laid out. It's all like, here, you don't have to think about this, and you don't have to fret about it, and you don't have to worry. It's right here. And, and also at the beginning, you saying, like, you don't have to do everything to the letter of everything. You don't have to be perfect. It's okay if you modify, or, if you don't want to do certain recipes and substitute them. Like, I just always have my heavy metal detox smoothie every morning instead, and stuff like that. Like, it just kind of made me relax a little bit. So I'm like, oh, good. I don't have to be perfect. Cause I do that too, where it's like, oh, if I don't do it all perfect, then I failed, which I don't have that now. Like, I don't feel that.
Good. That's one of the main things I want people to get from doing the cleanse, is that you don't have to be perfect, and perfection's it's an illusion anyway. So why try to marry ourselves up to something that's not real anyway? I'm so glad you said that.
Thank you. I feel like I've really learned that on a new level with this whole medical medium journey, because I think in the past, like, when you try a new way of eating and you think, oh, if I don't do it perfectly or whatever, like I said, I've failed or something. But this is your life. This is my life now. So if it takes me a while to, like, let go of something, like to get as low fat as I'd like to be, then it takes a while. I'll get there, because that's the way I'm going. And as each kind of layer heals, I notice that it's like it kind of frees me up to do the next thing, to take it to that next level and go to do the next thing, which is why I'm here.
Yeah. So I want to summarize for the people listening, because when I asked you, what did you get from this that you don't get from a private consult? You said community and structure, right? Recipes and things that you don't have to think about. It's all kind of laid out. Is there anything else that you got from, the Q&A, or the what we're doing in the group? Tell people what's going on in the group.
Absolutely. Because so many questions getting answered. And also the great thing is that I don't always think of all the questions that I have, but other people do. And it's great because I see them asking, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad somebody asked that. I didn't think of that, but I really did want to know. And so you have other people asking all the questions, and they're just, you and your team are just answering all these questions that I'm like, you can't get that from a consult, because you're not going to think of every single question that might come up. And it's, and it's kind of in real time. So you can just go to the Facebook group and ask the question, and then other people are there to support you and answer. And so many questions being answered, and ones you didn't even think were relevant to you sometimes, or I should speak in first person. The ones I don't even think are relevant to me sometimes, but then they end up being relevant. I'm reading the answers and I'm like, oh yeah, that resonates too. And it's, it is so much more than, I love my one-on-one consults, but also, because then you're going into specific dosages and things like that. But the general questions too, I'm learning so much information that I wouldn't have even thought to ask, but I'm so glad I know. I'm like, and then it does make me think of other questions, like, oh, I guess I can also ask this, because that person asked that, and that made me think of this. And it's just really helpful to have all of that. And then people, every day sort of talking about their progress in the group, and us being able to support each other and share what we've learned. And I love that. I like that just whole group dynamic works really well. And having not just one knowledgeable person, yourself, but a team of knowledgeable people saying, here's the information that, you're asking for. And it's very helpful, very helpful.
Thank you so much for, first of all, on such short notice, agreeing to come on and do this.
I'm honored.
I'm so grateful you were able to do this with us. And, your journey and you sharing this with, believe me, once you get off on the Zoom call and you jump onto the Facebook group, my Facebook page, you will see everyone's comments. Everyone's like, "Hi, Echota," and "Oh my gosh, you're so inspiring," and you'll love reading the comments. And it is true, like that journey is so inspiring. I do have another caller, actually another person we're going to do right after you.
Oh, great.
Who's going to come on as well and talk about their experience. But thank you so much for this. I am so deeply grateful. And thank you for being such an active member of the community and all your contribution to the community, which is what makes the community.
Thank you. It is my honor and my pleasure. Thank you. I'm glad to be a part of it all.
Thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you on the group.
You too. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Okay, everyone. The next person that I have on here for you is someone by the name of Linda Sarl. And Linda is going to come on in just a second. Linda, hi. All right, I cannot hear you. So can you unmute, just unmute yourself? Can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay. There's something up with your sound. I know I have you here. Oops.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
okay.
Great.
Hold on a second. I have to move Echota out of here.
Bye, Echota.
All right, everyone. A double treat for you today. Here is Linda Sarl. Linda has been on our cleanse as well, and she's done more than one, right?
This is my second cleanse, yes.
And so I'm going to ask you just that question, tell us a little bit about your story and your journey, what brought you to medical medium, and how did you end up here?
So a couple of years ago, my health was gradually deteriorating. I was becoming sensitive to more and more foods. I was already a vegan. And I went on different food healing courses, one where it said no bananas. I didn't eat a banana for about 5 years. They told us that potatoes should be left in the ground. So I stopped eating potatoes. And believe it or not, I was even eating a avocado pit because they said they're really cleansing for you. It was ridiculous. And of course, then I was having distilled water with no added minerals in there at all. And I was just getting worse and worse. And I was having migraines, daily headaches, sciatica, low back pain, constipation, digestive issues, really painful burning hands. And I've had this for over 20 years. Every time I would put my hands in water, they would burn, and I had eczema on my hands as well.
Wow, that's intense.
And when you can't use your hands, it is so difficult. I was wearing nitrile gloves in the shower every day. Everywhere I went, I took my nitrile gloves. And because if a drop of water, they would burn. I dreaded winters because my hands would crack, they'd bleed. It was so painful. And I actually thought I was healthy. Believe it or not, I thought, I was told all the low back pain is because you've had 4 children, it's your age, you've got to live with it.
Yeah.
Eczema, they said you've got to take steroid creams for the rest of your life, prophylactically, so that you've got eczema and you can't get rid of it. You just need to keep using steroids. And I'm an ex-registered nurse, so I know steroid creams are so dangerous.
Yes, they are. They're very dangerous. Thank you for sharing that story. So then what happened? So you go all these diagnoses and ended up with this condition that you were in. And so what led you further?
I was so desperate. I remember I was in the bedroom on my own and I prayed. It was like, would you please show me what I should eat? Would you please tell me what I should drink? I just need help. Please, please help me. And then within 3 days, I had an email from Hay House, and it was about Anthony's book. And to be honest, I thought, oh gosh, not another book, not another person that claims that they can heal me, another diet. Because my kids, I was the laughing joke of the family.
Right.
Just, oh gosh, mum's on another course. Okay, get ready. What's she going to have as eating now?
Right.
I mean, it became ridiculous. So I, with pre-ordering the book, you actually had audio.
Yes.
And immediately when I was listening to the audio, I knew that this was definitely the right place to be in. So he actually gave some tips as well, straight away. So immediately I started to cut out. Being a vegan, I was having a lot of soy almost every day. Corn,
that's right.
every day. Lots of wheat.
Yes.
And I thought, well, oh my gosh, I've got to cut all these other things out. What's left? And it was overwhelming, for sure, in the beginning. Absolutely overwhelming. And when I received the book, every chapter I could relate to. It was like, oh no, where do I start? Oh my God.
I know. It's amazing.
So I started with the B12. Later on, I started with the zinc, but it was just the B12 first thing. But I'll never forget when he said to help the digestion, the celery juice. And I hated celery. I absolutely despised it. I used to buy it and then I'd end up throwing it away. I just didn't like celery. And I thought, oh, please, no, out of all the things to drink in the morning.
I know, right? Of all the choices that we are provided, that is the one.
But that very first glass, I made it for my husband, and we both sat there together, like, okay, let's do this. And you know what, Muneeza, in that instant, my anxiety left my body. It was so amazing. I'd have this anxiety that I could never, ever explain. Things like just picking up the telephone. I was afraid to even speak to people on the phone. And here I am now doing this video conference.
With some 100 people watching.
Yeah, but that anxiety just left with that very first glass of celery juice. And I could feel it soothing all the way down. I also had chronic constipation. And within about 10 minutes of that celery juice, I was so pleased. We've got 2 bathrooms at home. It was like, wow. And I've not had constipation since.
That's amazing.
I also suffered with insomnia as well for years and years. And yeah, I sleep really well now at night. Amazing, just amazing.
That's amazing. It really is. Oh, wow. Your story is like incredible. So then what steps did you take further to, now at that time, I think when the book first came out, he was still doing consultations. Did you apply to do a consult?
I didn't, no. Okay. I just kept reading the book over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I started off really slow. In fact, I even had cooked breakfast in the mornings. I would definitely do the celery juice. I didn't do the lemon water
Right.
I did that later on when I found out, oh, we know we need to hydrate more. But then I'd have oatmeal, gluten-free oatmeal, but I'd put on, I'd make it with water and put bananas on. Finally, I was eating bananas, which was wonderful. And just douse it with maple syrup. And I'd probably have a lunch for my lunch. I'd have a salad, but I'd always have potatoes as something else, because I found that I would just get a little bit buzzy if I ate too much raw in the beginning.
Yes.
So I went really, really slow. I tried to do an occasional juice. Every day, though, I would make the heavy metal smoothie. I would drink that. But the rest, it was just mainly the celery juice and the heavy metal smoothie. And the rest, salads now and again. And mostly cooked food. And after a while, I wasn't, I was just taking the B12. I wasn't doing any other supplements. And then I thought, I need to step it up a notch. And then I started to add, my morning routine would be the heavy metal smoothie, and sometimes a bowl of fruit. Obviously, the celery juice. The celery juice. It really is a miracle drink.
It really is. So you kept it really simple, and cooked food, you did a lot of that in the beginning anyway, and then slowly tried a little bit more raw. And what drew you to doing a cleanse?
Well, I tried the 28-day cleanse in the book, and I found it so hard to do, to be honest. I'd had a couple of attempts at doing it on my own, but I'd always end up adding steamed potatoes. I don't know. I just I found I was really hungry as well. So I did try it, but it wasn't. So I thought when your cleanse came along, which I did in the summer, I thought I really have to do this. I have to step it up a notch. And what I found with your cleanse in the summer, it really, really helped me so much. Just all the meal preparations, the plans, the shopping lists. The Facebook group was amazing. I learned so much. And just all the extras, the meditation.
Yeah, we did a meditation in that one.
Yeah. I know the tongue scraping, all the morning routine. And I took about 2.5 weeks not working. I thought I'm just going to completely do the protocols. And I absolutely love juicing. I just love that part. And I'd never been able to juice before. I would last probably a couple of, probably up till about 4 o'clock. Then I'd crash, and it's like, oh, I need food.
Yeah.
I was never able to do a full day of juicing. But what I found on your cleanse, just having those hourly drinks, and the amount of fluid.
Yeah, it's a lot of fluid.
It was like, wow. It just, I never got that slump. I didn't crash at all. In fact, I was actually struggling to drink it all.
Yeah.
But I thought, wow, if I can do this, then I can do it for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And just having that knowledge, before this cleanse started, I actually did a 9-day juice fast.
Oh my goodness. Yay, that's amazing. High five.
Oh, I thought, wow, I did it. And it wasn't hard at all. Just the experience in the summer from your other cleanse, I just learned so much. And of course, then you've got the tools. We've got them for life.
Yeah.
So we can just use them. You know, if time's not right, you've got the tools. So,
Yeah.
you know,
You've got them for life. You've got the videos for life. You've got the documentation and the materials for life. And you have, I mean, even though the Facebook group gets archived, you can go back into it and research anything you want that we've talked about already. So even though we're not active in it, the information is still available for you to access at any time.
And it's wonderful. Because you can go, you know, when you are doing the cleanse and you're reading all the Facebook posts, again, that can be overwhelming.
Yes, it's a lot of information.
You know, you've got young children. We've got a life as well.
Yes,
it's like, okay, I want to be out. I'm not gonna just sit there and read all these Facebook posts.
Yes.
But because they're archived, you know, you just go back, you just chill, no stressing,
yes.
And just catch up that way. Like no pressure. And that's what I love. It's like the no pressure.
Yeah, we try to make it as no pressure as possible, you know, make sure that you don't have to do everything a certain way. And, you know, you're with us for the mastery. So, you know, we'll be doing a lot more of that in there, and we'll be sharing information and teaching information. But at the same time, you get to be doing the cleanse. There's a 1 month, it's a fruitier cleanse as we go into it, starting on Friday. And so there's people who are asking, who want to know more about doing a cleanse. You know, there's a mastery coming up. It starts Friday. Definitely check out Jackie's posting the links. But, you know, you'll be doing a fruitier cleanse, and you don't have to have done this cleanse in order to do that one. You can just jump on and modify as you need to. Again, no pressure. And then we do 2 months of transition. So teaching people, you know, learning, I think it's so important to learn for your own self and for your own body, what, when you take it away and then you bring it back, how you feel. So that's good information, because if you have a reaction to something that you're bringing back in that you've never had a reaction to before, then you sort of realize, oh, maybe this isn't the right thing for me, you know, whereas if you'd never eliminated it, you would know. You would not have an idea, right? Because there's too much other busyness going on, and it's not clear enough for you to get that information for feedback from your own body. So, you know, we'll be doing that. We're doing the teaching calls, but, you know, I'm so grateful to you for making time to do this. I know that, again, it was short notice that we asked you, and you so graciously accepted. So I have so much gratitude and appreciation for you for coming on and sharing your experience. And what would you like, if you had one thing to share with people as you're ending talking today about your journey, what would you leave them with? Or what is the most important thing that you learned that helped you to reach this point?
Don't give up the faith. It's everything. With my eczema, my hands got so much worse with cleansing the liver. And you do, after a while, you think, well, my hands, they're worse. They're not getting better. Can I show you my hands? My hands are now they've completely healed. But there is a time when you are cleansing, things will come up, you know, skin rashes, all sorts of aches and pains. Definitely skin rashes become a lot worse before they get in better. But don't give up the faith. This absolutely works.
Thank you for such wise words. And thank you so much for sharing. And you cannot go get off this. And if you have time, go to the Facebook posts here and just read what people are saying. There's some amazing comments there for you.
Oh,
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you. It was a pleasure. All right. Bye now.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, everyone. What a treat that was, getting to hear from 2 amazing women on their journey today. And hearing how they healed, what they did, and how simple it really was for them. And then, the one thing that people keep saying is that they want the support and they want the help, and they want it was helpful to get a community. And again, I just want to share with you, if you still want that, Mastery starts on Friday. Okay. It starts on Friday. It's going to be a really great program. It's the first time we've done a long-term program like this for 3 months. Somebody said my British accent came on. I just realized that I didn't even process that when I was speaking, because actually a British accent is my natural accent. I've always spoken like this, and I've always spoken actually even more British than I'm speaking right now. That's how I grew up. So sometimes I'll get into the mode of speaking with a more American accent, I think, just with the people that I speak to. But when I hear a British accent, it switches on immediately. I didn't even notice that I did that. It was so funny that someone pointed it out. I just want to share that it's a really vibrant group. There's lots of sharing, lots of information that we try to address for you. We are deep into answering all of your questions. We really want you to be empowered. And I think that walking away with empowerment, with support, with feeling confident, that's what we want you to walk away with, is empowerment, confidence, support, feeling that you've got this, feeling that you can figure it out. Even if you don't know something, you can figure it out. And you hear and learn about so many different protocols and so many different approaches to different problems. And it's that piece that really, I think people really take away and they love from doing the programs, because you're not really getting that anywhere. And, Jackie just said during the cleanse, we created a rad playlist. Well, that was her job to do that. But what we did was we asked everyone to share something that was really uplifting to them, whether it was a song or whether it was a skit or a sketch or a clip, a funny clip or something. And we created this playlist, and the songs on there are so amazing. And it's sort of listening to that. We've been using that to inspire each other to really, feel uplifted when we've been having moments where it hasn't felt so good. But also listening to the songs and what resonates with each different person, you get to know them a little bit better, because you get to hear what choice of music they enjoy, or what is something that they enjoy outside of the cleanse. Nancy's saying it's really good to know about things getting worse first. It does happen for some people, Nancy. It doesn't happen for every single person. Some people do get worse first. With skin issues, they tend to get worse first before they will get better. So yeah, it's really interesting how that works. Michelle says, same, I'm from England. My accent comes out more when I'm there around British people, rather than completely Americanized ones. Yes, I actually, if I ended up in England, Michelle, I would speak so full on British, it would shock everyone, I think. It's really a interesting phenomenon. Everyone points it out, including my children. They're like, Mom. So my children say, I can't do that. Or they don't say so British, but they say, I can't do that, with their American accent in other ways, and not really American, but they say, I want to go and dance. And so their friends will point it out to them, say, Mommy, why do you say dance? And because I cannot say dance, I just can't do it. Anyway, so, Echota is saying, yes, my skin it hasn't begun to resolve until I went lower fat. It got worse before it got better. Laina is saying, anyone available for reading or advice, just got diagnosed with a tumor. Yeah, Laina, is that how you say your name? Contact our office, muneezaahmed.com/contact, support@muneezaahmed.com, and you can get some support there. But for everyone else who's listening, the journeys are incredible. There's an amazing group of people here. The vibe is amazing. The people are amazing. Their journeys are amazing. Their courage is amazing. Their ability to love is amazing. And to be in a group like that is so hard to come by. I've never been in a group that has been that supportive, loving, and amazing. So I set out to create a group like that. And so hopefully this is what we're really doing here. And I would love for you all to be a part of it. I mean, you know, Lena, Jackie just posted a link for you, so you can connect there on that link. So I really want you to, you know, check it out. I know I do Facebook Lives, and typically I sit here for an hour and I answer all of your questions. But I wanted to tell you that on one of the programs, the Q&A is deeper. We can go into more depth and more detail, which we cannot really do here on Facebook. And, you know, you get Facebook written Q&A through the group, and is, like I said, so much information that people say to me, wait, how do I get this all? It's so overwhelming just looking at everything that's in here that I should be like figuring out. So there's people ask about every condition that they have and all their family members or friends have. And we share protocols, we share support, we share techniques and things that you could be doing. It's just been a really phenomenal experience for me too, as a practitioner, to share there. And, you know, there are a lot of practitioners in the group who come from Anthony's practitioner group, or outside practitioners who are in the group. It's just a lot of fun for me to be able to have them in the group and to have them support you. It's just a really amazing place to be. So I am overwhelmed actually by listening to the stories of these two amazing women. And I'm still taking in everything that they shared, because it's a big deal to actually bear witness to someone's story and their journey, because it's a really, really big thing that they've done, and that all of you are currently doing, is going on this journey to heal and to shift your body and your health. And, you know, that you get to do this in support of other people in the cleanse. People support each other. There's helping hands. You know, I mean, it's a daily, I think I'm moved so deeply by what someone has shared in the group, that I'm like, wow, do I get to be this lucky that I get to hear what someone else's journey's been like? And it's never what you imagine. Like, people have suffered so much, and on any given day, someone is suffering with something or the other, you know. And it's a deeply humbling experience for me to witness. And I think for everyone in the group, when you start to hear and share what other people are going through, it really makes you sit and wonder for a moment, you know, what really is going on here? What really is helping people? What are these journeys about? And if you are chronically sick, if you have had issues for a long time and you don't know where to go, and you're lost or confused, or you've read the medical medium information and you don't know what to do next, please consider joining the mastery program. This is what we're here for. It's to provide guidance, to provide community, to provide daily support and answers. And even though it's not a private reading, although everybody wants a private reading, even though it's not a private reading, you still get so much out of it. So much so that a lot of people don't even want to do a private reading anymore, because they got everything that they needed from the program. So I would really have you consider doing that. And the other piece is that if you do the program and you still feel like you need a consult and you want that support, you don't need as much time, because we spend so much time talking about food. But if you did the program, that's covered there, and you don't have to do it outside of it. So it's really a really very powerful place. I wanted to also share, you know, we've got some amazing bonuses. And one of the bonuses, which hasn't even been, so it'll be a live call with me to discuss chronic pain and how you can get out of it. How do you navigate it? How do you deal with it? You know, whether, you know, how much, you know, people say, well, can I take Advil? Can I take Tylenol? Or what else can I take? We'll be sharing strategies with you on how to overcome chronic pain. And I know so many of you or your loved ones have had chronic pain or have it at the moment. So that's one of the bonuses that we're giving away. There's a live call with me to do that. And then the month 1, month 2, month 3, we're doing lymph, liver, and spleen. The second, and we're doing one call that's based on physical health. The second call is based on emotional health. So getting out of victim consciousness, how to like really deciphering your emotions, how to remove any resistances that you might feel emotionally. Second month, we're doing tonics, herbs, and elixirs, and how to put herbs together, how to put teas together that will support your highest good. You get exercises and bits of homework to do. You know, go figure out, make a tonic, for example, and share it with the group. And we've got a competition there, which will be kind of fun. And I'm giving away some fun goodies for that. So there's that going on. There's in the fourth call in the second month, we'll be doing the gifts of suffering. Like, how do you emotionally deal with your suffering and what do you make of it? What is the meaning around it? In the third month, the call about physical health is about adrenals, blood sugar, and related topics, neurological issues. And then the sixth call in that third month will be about the building faith, and building faith for your support, building faith to take you further on your journey. And you know what Linda said right before she hung up? She said, don't give up, just keep that faith. And so the last topic that we will do in Mastery is about keeping that faith. It's really, really important, because it sometimes is the single most important thing that carries you through the entire trajectory of learning and healing. And without the faith, you cannot really do anything, any of it. If you don't believe in it, if you don't believe you can heal, if you don't believe in the protocols, if you don't believe that there's another way, if you don't have that faith already, it's very hard. So building that faith, and I know all of you in the program because you have the faith, but it's to help you through those moments where it's really hard to have the faith, when you're feeling really sick, when you're down, when you're really feeling the worst you've ever felt, and you don't have the support you need, and the most alone you've ever felt. That's what this is about, and that's what this is for, and that's what we're here to support you with. So there are other bonuses as well that I haven't shared about. We'll be giving away some fun memes on the angels so that you can actually cut them out, make a deck, whatever you want to do with the 21 essential angels and the 12 life-changing angels. And we have some prayers and poems that we want you to put up around your house or around your office or wherever it is that you spend time, so that you can really deepen that faith and remember that you have a lot of support, not just in this life, but in God's realm. And it's about remembering those two pieces. Like, I have support here, I have support in God's realm, and I have everything that I need to know so that I can heal. And because you're not going as quickly as some people go, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get better, because how could you not? You're eating fruits and vegetables. How could you not? That's God's food. And that's what I want to share with you and leave you with. So if you're interested in Mastery and you've got questions, email team@muneezaahmed.com. And if you want to know more about the program, Jackie's posted the links here. Jump on there. There is a discount code if you're interested. There is a payment plan if you're interested. So if you want to know more about it, email our office, team@muneezaahmed.com. We're here to help you make this work for you. And we're here to make it as easy, as affordable as possible for you to get the support you need to get better. And I love you guys. I'm praying for your healing every day, for everyone who shows up here, and everyone who shows up in my office, and everyone who shows up on my lives, and everyone who shows up in the cleanse, and everyone who's showing up in the Mastery. Every single day I pray for all of you to heal and get better, because that's my deepest wish. And I cannot tell you how much I love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the community and making it the amazing community that it is, because it takes each and every single one of you to actually do that. Have a beautiful afternoon.